My 20-minute coaching session with Meet Kevin has been canceled yesterday, and Kevin has refunded me the money. And on top of this, I received an email from the Majesty outlining the reasons why the call was canceled. And to be honest with you, I feel like I've been touched by Jesus, that the Majesty took the time and wrote me an email. So in this video, we're going to go through this email and we're going to discuss some of the points because there's a lot of lessons actually here to learn. So let's go ahead and start. The subject of the email is coaching call June 8th, no interview with a liar. So in other words, he's calling me a liar. Hi Mariusz, we are uninterested in helping, promoting, or talking about your pump and dump microcaps. We are also uninterested in helping those who have lied about our work, brand, and efforts. We are supportive of critics who are honest and would gladly have an interview with them for free because we value honesty and fair criticism. However, you have baselessly slandered our company, and we encourage you to get your facts straight before spreading disinformation and lies. Sadly, it doesn't seem facts and accuracy matter to you. As such, we can only imagine your intentions of pumping penny stocks. If you are confused, watch your own videos and ask yourself, do I have evidence for my claims? And when you realize you don't, you'll understand why we are uninterested in discussing anything with a liar. We've refunded your money, which you should see arrive by Friday. Thank you very much for refunding the money. So let's take it piece by piece. Let's for a second leave this first sentence and let's talk about this sentence. We are supportive of critics who are honest and would gladly have an interview with them for free. Okay? I tried to have several communications with Kevin, and one of them was on February 8th, 2022, when his stocks were getting absolutely destroyed and crushed. I said, I have been watching some of your videos along with the drama going on in the stock market and economy. It's not an easy time for growth investors. I went through this kind of thing from 2012 to 2016. This was the period when I was involved in the mining stocks, and I created a playlist of how I hate the mining stocks. I was involved in a sector that literally destroyed me. 100% true. Everything I touched turned into shit. I don't want to say that I know what you're going through, so I won't. But if you need some support or talk over how I got myself out of the shithole, let's talk. I see too many haters out there. So in other words, on February 18th, I reached out to him, like genuinely wanted to help because he's got this big audience, and I went through hell with the mining stocks, and I had a smaller audience, and I went through something like that, not on the same scale, but I felt like I was able to maybe help and provide some support. Of course, I didn't receive any feedback whatsoever. About a month ago, I interviewed Strongman Personal Finance on my YouTube channel. And Strongman, his name is Chris, he had a debate with Kevin, and because I had unsuccessfully was unable to get a hold of Kevin through emails, through Twitter, I asked Chris, hey Chris, can you introduce me to Meet Kevin because you're the head communications with him, because I want to interview him. Chris wrote this email to meet Kevin, as you can see here, about a month ago. Howdy, just finished an interview with YouTuber Mariusz, and he informed me he would like to interview you. If you're interested, I've seen him. See you soon. Of course, no response from Kevin. So when he says we are supportive of critics who are honest and would gladly have an interview with them for free because we value honesty and fair criticism, I don't know how true this statement is based on my communications with him. And my first video on Kevin was don't cancel him. Meet Kevin, don't cancel him. In this video, I talked about the five or six companies that he talked about before: Excel Fleet, Shift Technologies, QuantumScape, Microvision, and Arcimoto, which turned out to be a complete disaster from the point of view of the stock and the stock market performance. That's a fact. Like, this is not a lie, that's a fact. But I still, in this video, was very encouraging because I felt like if he, learned from these mistakes, if he learned how to analyze stocks properly, he could benefit his audience, which is pretty big. That was the whole purpose of this video, is to, hey, you screwed up here, however, don't cancel him because, he can do a lot of good for people. Okay, let's go back to the email. We are uninterested in helping, promoting, or talking about your pump and dump microcaps. So he's calling me a pump and dumper here, right? So let's have a look at my microcaps that I talk about, and you can decide on your own if I am a pump and dumper, okay? Because this is a lesson here that now it makes sense why Graham, Meet Kevin, won't ever respond to me, because they seem to put everything into the same category of microcaps and penny stocks as here. As such, we can only imagine your intentions of pumping penny stocks. So for them, penny stocks and microcaps are in the same category. This is a company, Oracle Resource, that I've been talking from 2017 at 4 cents, and it reached almost $4 before the current sell-off not too long ago, middle of May, and it was up almost 9,000%. Okay, and even up to today, it's up like 3,000%. Now, just because the stock price is where it is doesn't mean anything, because anybody can get lucky. So let's talk about some of the things that I did to learn about this stock. You see, Oracle is a story where it was like Oracle 1.0 and Oracle 2.0. Oracle 1.0 was about the legal situation. So Oracle has a asset in Mexico called Santa Tomas Copper Project, which was tied in a legal battle for like 20 years. And when I got involved with Oracle, I was studying the legal situation. In other words, I was ordering documents from the court, directly from the courthouse, and studying how the legal battle was progressing. And this is the website, classicvalleyinvestors.com/Arizona lawsuit. And as you can see, I started uploading documents on 3 different lawsuits. Everybody could see it. Lawsuit number 1, lawsuit number 2, and lawsuit number 3. Okay? And as you can see, all these documents, let's just choose one. Yeah, I was uploading all of these documents for people to see. So I was following this lawsuit one by one. Every time there was a piece of document that was released on the website, I bought it straight from the courthouse, I paid money, and then they sent me the legal document, and I was following it. Look at this, 46 documents on this. On the first lawsuit, 50 documents and here's the ruling on the second lawsuit, and 13 documents on the third lawsuit, and I even had a recording of what was happening in the courthouse. So I knew everything about this lawsuit. I literally knew I don't want to say I knew more than the management. I didn't know more than the management because they're obviously fighting the lawsuit. But I was getting these documents faster than the management was getting the documents because I was buying them directly from the courthouse, and then the management had to wait for the lawyers to provide it for them. So that was from about here to here. So based on this, the stock was up like more than 1,000%, right? And people who followed me made a huge amounts of money. Now, from here, there was this sell-off because of COVID, and then the stock went down all the way to here. Around this point, this was Oracle 2.0, which meant that after the company solved the legal problems, winning the ownership or the title for the property, it was time to prove up the property, because the property was drilled for copper in the 80s, 60s, 70s. But because of the BRIAC scandal that happened, a new standard was born, 43101, and then the company had to reconfirm the historical 100 holes to show the market that they have copper. So sometime around this point, I actually helped, through my website, Microcap Explosions, helped the company raise about $13 million. And in total, with the warrants, it probably comes out to about $20 million for the company to raise the money and do the necessary work. As a result of this, the stock went up from here about 1,500%, right? So he calls my stocks pump and dump. So even though I put this kind of work into it, that's what people call me, pump and dumper. And it's not just him. You see, I have a hard time connecting with value investors. Monish Pabrai won't talk to me. It's like I feel like I'm in this space where nobody understands me. Value investors don't want to talk to me. Other microcap investors like Ian Castle, for example, won't talk to me. People in the index funds, they don't understand what I do. They probably think I'm completely crazy because they don't really know how detailed I go into these situations. And people like Meet Kevin and Graham think I am pump and dumper because I focus on microcap companies, but they don't take the step to understand that it's completely different. I don't think I've ever met anybody that does the kind of work that I do. So this is an example of what I've done for Oracle and the kind of work and understanding I had with Oracle. When I got involved here, the Oracle's market cap was about $3 million. When it was about here, the market cap was almost 700 million. And today, as you can see, it's about 260 million market cap. Now, let's move on. And if you contrast it to some of the stocks that he talks about, like X-Fleet, even from here, the stock is down almost 90%. That's not slander, that's a fact. Shift Technologies that he talked about is down about 90%. That's a fact, that's not slander. Quantum, from the peak, it's down about 90% again. If we just look at it from here, it's not as bad. It's down about 40%. Microvision, he talked about it somewhere here. Don't remember exactly. Down about 82%. And Arcimoto, it's down about 87%. Arcimoto is a producer of these toys, electric vehicles. And Kevin made a video how he was writing about this, getting excited about it. The next is going to be the next Tesla and everything like that. So again, he talked about this stock and it absolutely collapsed. This is a fact. This is the truth. It's not slander. You talked about it. Okay, so as he's saying, we are not interested in promoting or talking about your pump and dump microcaps. And then right here again, as such, we can only imagine your intentions of pumping penny stocks. Now, please guys, correct me if I'm wrong. X-Fleet has a market cap of 185 million right now. Shift Technologies, 90 million. Quantum, that one is bigger, 6 billion. Microvision, 600 million. And Arcimoto, 160 million. So in other words, and if you compare this to Oracle, 260 million market cap, Voxter, 500 million market cap. So in other words, he's not interested in promoting microcaps and penny stocks, yet the stocks that he talked about used to be regular stocks, not microcaps and penny stocks, and they became penny stocks. They became microcaps because anything with a stock price of less than $5 is considered a penny stock. Again, that's a fact. So my picks are up huge. His picks, those picks that I chose, are down about 90%, but he's not interested in, he's calling me a pump and dumper. Let's talk about Voxter, because Voxter is interesting. Kevin did an interview with UWM about a year ago, confronting the CEO of a massive mortgage stocks, UWM, okay? And I'm telling him now about Voxter, and he's calling it a pump and dump because he's not interested in pumping and dumping stocks because I'm a liar and I have the wrong intentions. UWM on September 9 announced upcoming launch of UWM Appraisal Direct, new appraisal solution. What Appraisal Direct is, in the real estate space, the lenders usually go through appraisal management companies to order appraisals. So there's a lender, there's an appraisal management company, and then there's an appraisers. So appraisal management company is like the scheduling platform that finds appraisers for the lenders. Well, UWM wanted to launch Appraisal Direct. Okay? And he interviewed the CEO. Do you know who powers Appraisal Direct? Now is a Voxter company. So Voxter is powering UWM Appraisal Direct. He won't look at Voxter because it's a penny stock that came from a pump and dumper, but he has no problem interviewing the CEO of UWM. So he did this about a year ago. The stock of UWM is down about 70%. Now, he's worried about pump and dump, but he interviews the CEO of UWM, and I have nothing against this company. I'm just saying is that if you worried about pump and dump, you are worried about, you're worried about that these stocks are going to deliver losses, right? Well, so far, everything he's talked about, those examples that I used, had huge losses. Let's talk about how I found Voxter. When I was writing this book in 2020, during the COVID, this features like 50 stocks. Some big ones, some small ones, some medium ones. What I did in order to write this book, I went through about 5,000 or 6,000 companies, one by one, not using a screen, one by one, every single company on NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange, OTC, TSX Venture, and Canadian Stock Exchange. And I found 50 that fit into this book. Now, Voxter was one of the companies that I found during that search, and Voxter did not make it to this book because I did this in 2019, And when I learned about Voxter, I saw that they were revolutionizing the real estate appraisal space. I studied this company to death. But at that point, I said, it's not the right time, because I didn't think that the appraisers would be open to new platform and new technology. But when COVID came, after I already published this book, I realized that the industry was going to change, because they were going to be forced to change, because I realized that appraisers weren't going to be able to visit homes because of COVID and all that. So that was the time for the change. And that's when I started getting interested in Voxter. And in addition to the appraisal space, Voxter also has a foreclosure business, which now foreclosures are going to be picking up. That business did about 100 million of revenues before COVID, and now it's going to be coming back in Q3, Q4. That business is going to do well. But also, what happened is that UWM was the first client that signed up with Voxter for the ANOW platform. But also on April 6th of this year, Fannie Mae changed its guidelines to allow attorney opinion letter to be used as an alternative product to title insurance. This is a massive, massive change in the title industry. And Voxter is the only company that has a patent for attorney opinion letter combined with the process. In other words, they can attach attorney opinion letter to a mortgage, and then when that mortgage is sold to the secondary market, that attorney opinion letter travels with it. And title insurance, depending on the state, can cost $1,500, $3,000, or 1% of the value of the transaction. Title insurance is very expensive, and it's like a scam against people who are transacting in real estate, because in regular insurance, when you have insurance, the insurance companies collect premiums, and most of the premiums, like 80%, get paid out in claims. In title, only about 5 or 3% get paid out in claims, because the title searches are so good, the records are so good, that the title insurance is not really that necessary, but yet the price stays so high, even though only 5 or 3% of the premiums get paid out in claims. So Voxter was instrumental in creating that alternative product that makes it easier. And Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are interested in lowering the transaction costs for real estate transactions, because in December Fannie Mae wrote this study saying that the closing costs for real estate transactions for low-income people are higher than down payment. It's absolutely ridiculous. So Voxter is the solution to that problem, because the biggest contributors to the closing costs are the appraisal and the title. And so Voxter is solving both of those problems, and that's why Voxter has, revenues are growing every quarter, and now the attorney opinion letter is just being rolled out, and it's being started in 4 states, and it's going to disrupt the title industry. Okay, so that's the kind of work that I've done, and it took me about 6,000 companies to find it, and that's the kind of work that I've done. And so since I discovered it, I discovered it in like 2019, but then when I realized that it was time to go, it was somewhere around here during COVID. So the stock was up almost 10x until the recent sell-off, and I don't know when the sell-off is going to end, because everything is selling off and everybody is freaked out about everything. But it was a 10x, okay? And so this is my pump and dump. I am a pumper and dumper. I understand those companies. I study those companies like nobody else. I go through 6,000 companies to find this, and this is the kind of understanding that I get when I reach out to people. They don't want to talk to me or interview me, because we are uninterested in helping and promoting or talking about your pump and dump. So now you tell me, if Meet Kevin is in real estate, don't you think he should be aware of a company like Voxter, especially that later this year it's going on NASDAQ? I think so. That's why I reached out. Now, he thinks that I just want to pump and dump it. I think that I just want to expose Voxter to as many people as possible, especially the people in real estate. Usually the people in real estate, when I tell them about Voxter, they're so excited about it because they understand it. Not Kevin, not in this case, because we can only imagine your intentions of pumping penny stocks. Let's continue. We are uninterested in helping those who have lied about our work, brand, and efforts. Well, I didn't really lie about the stocks that you talked about. I actually gave you encouragement, but everything I said is true. And even Wall Street Journal did a piece on you. I talked about how everything about you is about YouTube. So don't tell me that I lied. It's the Wall Street Journal that did this. We are supportive of critics who are honest and would gladly do an interview with them for free. Well, I already tried that, and it didn't work very well. However, you have baselessly slandered our company, and we encourage you to get your facts straight before spreading disinformation and lies. Sadly, it doesn't seem facts and accuracy matter to you. Yeah, they do matter to me, but maybe you could get your facts straight first before you call me a liar. That would be a good idea, don't you think? As such, we can only imagine your intentions of pumping penny stocks. Okay, we've covered that. If you confused, watch your own videos and ask yourself, do I have evidence for any of my claims? Yeah, I do, because I watched your videos on those 5 stocks that you talked about, and it's pretty clear what happened with them and how bad fundamentally those businesses were. When you realize you don't, you'll understand why we are uninterested in discussing anything with a liar. I would say this is a slander, calling me a liar. We've refunded your money, which should arrive by Friday. One other company that I want to talk about a little bit that I talk on my YouTube channel is Secure. This is a company that, again, if you go to my YouTube channel, I have a separate playlist for it, Secure Private Data, Globex Data. It's the same company, they changed the name. I also have a playlist for Voxter, which I talked about, and I have a playlist for Oracle. So you can go to this playlist on your own, and you can check out the way I talk about my companies, and you can make a decision on your own to think if I'm a pump and dumper. So Secure is an interesting company because I got very involved with this company, and sometime around this time, I actually assisted this company, and it's a very early stage company, and raised this company about $10 million so that they can now take their Secure product, which is a private email and messaging communication, so that they can promote their product. And they're already promoting their product through various YouTube influencers. They're going to do more. And so I never asked Kevin about promoting the stock of this company because I didn't think that he would be good for stocks. But as other influencers have, promotional material under YouTube, I wanted to, see if he would be interested in promoting the product as a product. But unfortunately, he calls me a pump and dumper, and he thinks my intentions is pumping penny stocks. Oracle went up almost 10,000% without Kevin's help. Voxter is up almost 10x without Kevin's help, even though he understands real estate. Secure was up almost 400%, and up to now it's like 133% without Kevin's help. Those stocks are up because the fundamental thesis is playing out or played out or partially played out. That's why those stocks are up. And then the work behind it is what gave me conviction to understand those companies. The companies that Kevin talked about are down hugely because, number one, they were not great companies to begin with. They were overhyped. And then their fundamentals brought the stocks down to where they should be. There's a huge difference. So anyway, you tell me, am I a pump and dumper? Thank you for watching.